Hi, and welcome to the dividing fractions lesson. So, today, basically the lesson objective is that by the end of the lesson, you'll know how to divide fractions. So, y'all are going to really like this lesson. It's pretty easy since y'all done so well with multiplying fractions. So, thanks so much for all of your hard work. So, let's begin. So, before we can even begin to divide fractions, we have to know what a reciprocal is. Reciprocal. So, a reciprocal is First, let's read the definition so we can get all that math vocabulary in. When a numerator, which is that number on top, and a denominator, which is the number on the bottom of a fraction, are flipped so that the numerator becomes the denominator and the denominator becomes the numerator. Whoa. Okay, let's break it down. Basically, all that means is that you're turning the fraction upside down. You're just flipping it over. Okay? So, for example, like this. All right, so if this 3 and this 4 are flipped, then this 4 goes over here to the top, and then this 3 goes over here to the bottom. You see that? So the 3 was on top, and now it's on the bottom, and that 4 was on the bottom, and now it's on top. Okay, how about this one? So this one right here, like the 5 is on the top, and the 7's on the bottom. So once again, the numerator and the denominator, okay? The numerator becomes the denominator, and the denominator over here becomes the numerator. Basically, take your number or your fraction and flip it upside down. That's all you gotta do. It's just that simple. Okay? So, another thing with that is whole numbers. Here's the rule. Okay? So, the reciprocal of 8, oops, my bad. The reciprocal of 8 is 1/8. This is why. Because a whole number, all that is just a number over 1. So, like 8 over 1, right? So 8 over 1, the reciprocal of that, if we flip it, becomes 1 over 8. So the reciprocal of 5 is 1/5, because it's like 5 over 1 becomes 1 over 5. And then, for example, 31 would be 1 over 31. So basically the rule is, whenever you have a whole number, just put a 1 as the numerator and put the whole number, on the bottom as the denominator. Okay? So like, for example, here, that 8 became a 1/8. Just that simple. Y'all are going to do just fine. So practice, okay? Also, real fast. Okay, so a math fun fact. Math fun fact. Okay, so whenever you multiply a number by its reciprocal, the answer is always, 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 always 1. Okay, so for example, look at this 3/5 right here, 3/5. Okay? When we multiply it by the reciprocal of 3/5, which is 5/3, you're going to get the same number on the top as you do on the bottom, because 3 times 5 when we multiply across is 15, and then 5 times 3 when we multiply across is 15 as well. And any number divided by itself is just 1. So 15 divided by 15 is 1, or any number. This works for any number when we multiply it by its reciprocal. It's going to give you 1. Okay? Fun fact. Now, for this, pause the video in a minute, okay, when I stop talking. So pause the video in just a second and write all these down in your notebook, okay, in your notes, and you're going to solve them, all right? So take your time, pause it, and then start the video back up when you're ready, okay? Okay, so here are the answers. All right, let's discuss one or two, all right, just as examples. Okay, let me think of one that would give you a problem. Probably this one right here. Okay, so for example, 1/7, right, is equal to 7 over 1. Okay, remember, we can simplify 7 over 1 because any number over 1 is just the whole number. So it's going to be 7 right here. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, how about 9, right? Once again, any whole number is just that number over 1. So it's 9 over 1, which becomes 1 over 9. So the reciprocal of 9 is 1 over 9. Let's do one more. So how about 3 over 11? The 11 goes on top, the 3 goes on the bottom. We now have 11/3. Same thing for 6 over 15, becomes 15 over 6. Awesome. Next. Okay. So, reciprocals make dividing fractions easy. Who doesn't love easy? So, whenever you need to divide by a fraction, all you need to do is multiply by the reciprocal of the fraction instead. Y'all. So, technically, we're not even going to divide with dividing fractions. Wait, don't let that blow your mind yet. We're going to explain that. So basically, y'all are used to something like this. So, for example, times a fraction. Let's do times 1/2. Okay? Basically, every single fraction is just a little mini division problem. Just look at this. Look, 1 divided, where's my mouse? There it is. 1 divided by 2. Okay? That's what that is. So, if we're dividing by a number by 2, okay, we can say times 1/2, just like you're dividing it by 2. That's what this is. So if it asks you to divide by 2, okay, which is 2/1, if you do the reciprocal of that, if you do the reciprocal of 2/1, it becomes 1/2, y'all. So essentially, when you multiply a number, 1/2, okay, it's the same exact thing as dividing by that reciprocal. So right here, times 1/2 is the same exact thing as dividing by 2/1, which is why you can always just make your life easier and flip the second number of a division problem, which I'll explain on the next slide. Okay, you can flip it or do the reciprocal of it and just do multiplication instead, because multiplication is so much easier. Okay, so let's make our lives easier. All right, let us begin. So like I said, to divide a number by a fraction, just multiply the number by its reciprocal. So you never actually have to divide. Isn't that great? Okay, so an example. So 3/5 divided by 1/10. 3/5 divided by 1/10. Okay, write that down. Pause it if you need to. Okay, so to solve this, we're going to use leave it, change it, LCC. Okay, write that down in your notebook as well. All right, so to solve this, we're going to leave the first fraction right here. So this is the first fraction right here. Okay, leave it. That's why we have 3/5 right here. We just left it alone, and that's fine. Okay, and then we're going to change this symbol. Okay, we're going to change division to multiplication. Always change division to multiplication. Okay, and then we're going to change the second fraction. We're going to change it to its reciprocal. So 1/10 becomes 10/1. So we left the first fraction, we changed the division sign to a multiplication sign, and then we changed this fraction to its reciprocal. Okay? And all you have to do, y'all, is multiply across. Look, 3 times 10 is equal to 30. 5 times 1 is equal to 5. We get 30/5. But simplify always to equal 6, because 30/5 is equal to 6. This isn't so bad. Super easy, right? Okay, so another example. So 5/7 divided by 5/6. Y'all try it. Pause the video. Okay, now let's talk about it. So 5/7 divided by 5/6. All right, this is going to equal, when we leave the first fraction, becomes 5/7. Okay, because we just left it. And then it's time, okay, there we go, time, because we changed the division sign to a multiplication sign. Okay, and then this 5/6 right here became 6/5 because it's the reciprocal. 5/6, the reciprocal of 5/6 is 6/5. So 6/5. So we have 5/7 times 6/5. Now you just multiply across. So you have 5 times 6, which becomes 30, and then 7 times 5, which is 35. Okay, you can simplify that using your divisibility of 5 rule. So you have 30 divided by 35, which is just 5/6, and that's simplified. So if you need a review, go back, watch those 2 videos, especially the one with the leave it, change it. That's very helpful. And remember that, LCC. Whenever you see a problem with the division, remember, LCC. Leave it, change it. Okay, and that's it. So tonight, your homework is evidence of notes from this lesson. So that consists of the notes I told you to take and also any other additional work that you worked out in order to help you solve the problems. And also, just as some extra practice, please do page 121, numbers 1 through 4. Okay, that's just 4 problems, and you already took the notes if you're following along. So I leave you with a cat gif and a funny joke right here. 5 out of 4 people don't understand jokes about fractions. That's hilarious. Okay, anyway, have a wonderful night, and we have something very excited. planned for you tomorrow in class. We're doing the fraction station. So if you're prepared, you'll be able to have a great time tomorrow. So, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you in class tomorrow.